The first book I'd like to share with you today is a book by Patricia Polacco, and it's called Thank You, Mr. Falker. This book is going to be geared for more of an older age group, maybe 2nd to 3rd grade would be appropriate. And this book basically talks about a little girl who has been taught from early on in life that reading is very important, and as she starts her kindergarten year, she's so excited to be able to go to school and learn how to read, because that's what she wants more than anything. And she's a really good drawer, and her classmates see that very quickly. And her older brother tells her that when she gets to 1st grade that she'll learn how to read. Well, when she gets to 1st grade, she learns that the other boys and girls in her class are putting together sounds and letters to make words, but when she looks at a page, all she sees is squiggly lines. Her mother is a school teacher and announces that she has accepted a job far away from where they live now, and they moved to California. Well, the little girl in the story is hopeful that when she goes to a new school, that she too will be able to learn to read, that maybe they're going to teach a different way at her new school. Little does she know that when she gets to her new school, reading is still going to be a struggle for her. And it gets to the point where she's now fallen so far behind that the other children are beginning to make fun of her. Instead of going to recess, she would leave early and she would go and hide so the other children wouldn't make fun of her on the playground. One day, a new teacher shows up at the school, and all the kids are very excited because they have a new teacher. Well, as this new teacher begins to work with the students, he realizes that this particular little girl is behind where she should be. That teacher's name was Mr. Falker. Mr. Falker encouraged the little girl to stay after school, and he began to work with her. And he realized through working with her that the little girl was dyslexic. And he played games with her and helped her to be able to form her letters and see her letters the way that they should be seen. And through his help, he helped this little girl learn to read. And that's really all she ever wanted, was to learn how to read. And what we find out at the end of this story is that this was actually Patricia Polacco. The little girl in the story was actually Patricia Polacco. And to think that she's now a very well-written children's author who started life with dyslexia and not being able to read at all is pretty amazing to me. I think the activity that I would do for this book with my students would be to perhaps give them containers that are shallow and have sand in them, and just as Mr. Falker did with Patricia in the story, I think I would call out letters for them and have them write the letters in the sand, even if we did it using their spelling words for the week, but give them the opportunity to write letters in the sand to make their words. The next book that I'd like to share with you is a Sesame Street book called We're Different, We're the Same. It was written by Bobby Jane Cates and illustrated by Joe Mathau. This book would be appropriate for preschool children through kindergarten and even into 1st grade. And this book goes through and talks about how we are all the same, but yet we are different. We have eyes and we all see things. It talks about how we all have hair, even though our hair is different. It talks about how we have skin that is the same, even though the color is maybe a little different. but we all have muscle and bones that are wrapped around. And it just goes through the different features that we have and talks about how we are the same, but we are different. It talks about how we all have feelings and our feelings are the same, but we may not feel the same kinds of things at the same time. And as it goes through and talks about the different things that we all have that are the same, but may look a little differently, may feel a little different, but in the end, we're all the same. We're all humans with feelings and features, even though we may not look the same, that we should love one another and be friends with everyone. And I think a fun activity for this book would be to give children paper plates and have cutouts from magazines of different features, different hairstyles, different ears, different noses, different eyes, different mouths, and let them pick different features from each category and glue them onto a paper plate. And before they glued their features on, I think it would be really neat to give them different shades of crayons and let them color the paper plate whatever color they wanted their shade to be. And that would show their creativity. The last book that I would like to talk about is a book by Mem Fox called Whoever You Are. The illustrator of this book is Leslie Staub, and this book is geared more towards preschool and through 1st, 2nd grade. And the idea of this book is that children, no matter where they are, where they're from, or what they look like, that there are little ones like them all over the world. And it talks about how that their skin may be different, maybe their homes are different, maybe they have different traditions, maybe they dress a little different, maybe their schools are even a little different. But no matter where they are or who they are, the insides are all the same. That we have smiles that are the same, that we laugh, that we have feelings, and that maybe even our goals are different. We may want to do different things when we grow up, but no matter what your differences are, everybody is the same on the inside, no matter what their language is, no matter how they dress, that everybody is just like you. And I think for this book, the activity that I would want to do is perhaps to provide a picture of a world for the students and have a variety of paint colors that range from white all the way through a dark brown, and have students to take their fingers and do fingerprints in the different colors all the way around the globe, so that it's a visual of no matter what our skin differences are, we're all the same on the inside, and the inside is what's really important and what counts the most.